Hi everyone, it's Miss Allison, and I am here today to tell you a Godly Place story. That is a second story about the Ascension, and I thought I like this one, and I wanted to share it with you too. So I'm hoping, okay, if I move this back, you can see. So you see, I've laid out a white cloth. And the reason for the white cloth is because we are still in the season of Easter. It has been many days since Easter. In fact, it's been almost 40 days since Easter Sunday when Jesus came back from the dead. Today we're going to talk about the Ascension. But first we need to go back and we need to remember the mystery of Easter. And so we remember that for Easter to happen, Jesus died on the cross for us. And they placed Jesus's body in a tomb. And they rolled a great stone in front of the tomb. And Jesus's friends and followers were sad and scared and grieving. But we also remember that on Easter, Jesus rose from the dead. And came back to be with his friends. And for the last few weeks, we've been hearing all kinds of stories about Jesus visiting with all of his friends, the disciples, who don't want to stand up very well. Let's see. Here we go. Come back here. Jesus had many friends who loved him. We heard about doubting Thomas. We heard about Mary Magdalene. We heard about Martha, Lazarus. So many friends and followers Jesus had. This week we hear a story about the day of the Ascension. To tell this story, we need to travel outside of the city of Jerusalem. We need to travel back into the land of the hills where the shepherds kept watch over their flocks, to a great mountain, Mount Olives. Jesus and his friends all walked together up to the top of the Mount of Olives. It was a long walk. And they were happy because as they walked, Jesus was talking to them and teaching them. And they were so happy to have their friend back with them. And they all gathered around the top of the Mount of Olives with Jesus. This story is about a great mystery, a magical event. Jesus told all of his followers how much he loved them but that the time had come that he needed to go away again. He needed to go up and sit at the right hand of his Father, go home to heaven. He told all of his friends and followers that the time had come for them to carry on all of his good works and to spread the message of his love, to go out and spread the good news, to spread Jesus's love, to love one another the way he had loved them. And as he said these words, suddenly brilliant clouds came down from heaven. And Jesus rose up into the clouds. And he disappeared. And the disciples climbed to the top of the mountain, and they were looking up into heaven, standing there and staring. And suddenly, two men appeared. Two men all in white appeared and said, "Why are you looking up at heaven? Do you not know that Jesus has gone back to his Father, just as he told you he would? Go now and spread the good news. Go out into the world and tell them of Jesus and his great works, his message of love and loving one another." And the disciples realized suddenly that that is exactly what they needed to do. And they walked and traveled to different cities and different places with the joy of Jesus in their hearts. And that is the story of the Ascension. I wonder if you liked this story. I wonder what part you liked the most. I wonder what part of the story you would change if you could. I wonder how the disciples felt when Jesus went away from them. I wonder how the disciples felt when they saw bright, luminous clouds descending from heaven and Jesus rising up into heaven. I wonder how they felt. I wonder where you are in this story. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you liked the story, and I hope you all have a wonderful week.